Alright, what's up, people? So, over the holidays, one of my friends got FIFA 2016 as a Christmas gift. And he asked me if I played FIFA. And I was like, yeah, of course. I'm not new to FIFA or anything. And that was when he told me that he's been playing since 2012 or something like that, I think. And I was like, bro, I've been playing FIFA since '97. And then it dawned on me. I was actually playing FIFA since before he was born. And then that got me thinking. Like, I wouldn't actually consider FIFA to be an old school game, or even any of the older versions of FIFA for that matter. But I would more or less consider it to be a new old school game, if that makes any sense. I would consider a game like the original Super Mario Brothers or Top Gear, the game. For those of you who don't know, there was a Top Gear game. I'd consider those to be like the real old school game. And of course, Pac-Man, because come on, it's a classic, right? Now, along the lines of the new school retro games, I would consider Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart. There would be games like Resident Evil 2, and I would also consider a few of the Game Boy games to be new old school games, like Contra. Of course, there's Pokemon, Yellow, Red, Blue, the originals, and games like Mario Party. Like, I would consider those to be new old school. Of course, that's just for me, because I remember playing these games, but I didn't exactly grow up playing those games. It was just, later on, after my gaming career had already started, that was when I actually got into these games. Now, games for me like Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES, of course, original Super Mario, the one that came with Duck Hunt. Like, those were games that I would turn down hanging out with my friends just to stay at home and play. Now, I wouldn't advise anyone to do that right now, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. I think a couple years down the line, a lot of these games that I consider to be classics will still be classics, but there'll be a few more games added to that as time goes on. And I think games that have the potential to be classics are games like Halo, the original Combat Evolved, Uncharted series. I really love the storytelling on that one, so I think that also has a potential to be a good game even years down the line. I can't mention Uncharted without saying games like Last of Us, which I think brilliant game, like literally one of the best games I've ever played. And there would also be Batman, Arkham Asylum, like that trilogy or series, I think has great potential, and so many people already are in love with that series, so I think that will most likely become a classic. I think what also affects a game becoming a classic too is how the sequels are released and how the sequels get treated. For example, I would consider Mario Kart to be a classic, but the sequels for that had a lot to do with it as well, because even though they improve upon it a lot over the sequels that come out, they don't change the core of the game. You're still racing in your go-karts, and they're still adding, the fun factor of it is still there, and they haven't changed it so much that it becomes unrecognizable as a game. And I think that's one of the key things to making a game classic, because you have to keep the people who originally fell in love with the game interested, as well as getting new people to bite the hook, as it were, and to come over into your game. As you may or may not know, I'm also an avid MMO RPG gamer. I play Guild Wars 2 a lot. I've tried a few other games here and there, but like right now I'm kind of stuck on Guild Wars 2, and I don't know exactly that it would be even capable of becoming a classic, but I know that it will definitely be online for a while, and I can definitely see a lot of new people getting into it as long as they keep updating it properly. And I think that's the key to a lot of MMOs is to keep the content relevant and fresh and without releasing just more of the same thing over and over. So that was kind of it. You know, it just got me thinking a little bit that there's so many games that I can remember playing, you know, like it was yesterday. And at the same time, there are people now that weren't even alive when I was playing those games. So I guess this is what it feels like to be old. I'm sorry. Like everyone that grew up on Atari, and like I know how you feel right now. That's it. I'm gonna cut it off here.